Good morning children. Today's video is 71. This is the last class of ours. Chapter you all know that the new economic system and economic policies. Today's topic is mainly we discuss about globalization, World Trade Organization. Then again we are going to study about multinational companies and marketization. Before we begin to take today's class, we can see what all things we had studied in the last class. In the last class, we mainly discussed about the economic system can be classified into three. They are capitalist economy, socialist economy and mixed economy. The new economic policies are privatization, liberalization and globalization. Let me start the class. Today's topic, first one is globalization. Now we can see the important learning objectives of today's class. The important learning objectives are identify the features of globalization. We recognize the features of multinational company and the formation of a World Trade Organization. Recognize the argument for and against new economic policies. Let me start the class. First part I told you globalization. Children, we know that first of all we have to understand the meaning of globalization. What is the meaning of globalization? Globalization means world as a whole shrinked into a single market. Means the market of almost all the countries are connected each other. Or we can tell that the goods produced in any part of the country which is available within hours and days in any other part of the world. All the restrictions on trade was removed. Is it clear now? All the restrictions on trade was completely removed. This setup is known as what a globalization. I think it's clear now. Here actually what happened there were market friendly economic policies that led to the better relationship among different nations. Once more I tell you, market friendly economic policies led to the better relationship among the different nations of the world. Moreover, influx of capital, I think is clear now. Here means what children, we can understand that influx of capital increased. Here we know that there is no restriction for the free flow of new technology, capital, goods, services. Almost all the products we can see here that means what? There is a free flow of goods, services, new technology, and also we can see here that in any part of this world. As a result, what happened? Market-friendly economic policies, and moreover, it led to the better relationship among the different nations of the world. Again, we can understand what is meant by globalization. Children, it is that actually globalization is the economic integration and interdependence. Once more, economic integration and interdependence of different nations as a result of free flow of capital, labor, capital, labor, goods, services, technology, etc. Free flow of capital, labor, technology, etc. Irrespective of border differences. Irrespective of a border differences, free flow of capital, technology, goods, services, etc. took place during the time of these things. Again, we know that mainly they started this globalization, mainly they brought some changes in transportation facility as well as there in communication facility. What are the most important changes brought there in transportation facility? Mainly they tell here that in the case of the transportation, they started there mainly what we can understand that bullet trains and container ships, flights, etc. means fastest means of transportation. In the case of that communication, Also, they brought some changes there. We know that a computer, internet, mobile phones, etc. Began to be used very widely. Okay, it really increased the communication facilities of that people there. I think it's clear now. Again, we can understand that though globalization strengthened the nation, here also a group of countries were there. They are known as a developing countries. In the case of that developing countries, they did not get any benefit of this globalization. What is the reason for it? One is they do not have enough capital and technology, means insufficient capital and technology. As a result of it, what happened there? They did not get really the benefit of this globalization there. I think it's clear now. Moreover, they also started a new economic policies. In that new economic policies, they completely disregard government control. Okay, they introduce a new economic policy. They completely neglect the control of these government policies. Government control, completely disregard the government control. This policy is known as a neoliberalization. Now you understood what is neoliberalization. It is an economic policy where the government control is completely neglected. That policy is known as a neo-liberalization policy. Moreover, different organizations were formed during that time. Which are they are World Trade or the IMF, International Monetary Fund, World Trade Organization, World Bank, and multinational companies, etc. came to exist during that time there. Now we are going to study about mainly about what children, the World Trade Organization. What is about that World Trade Organization? Children, World Trade Organization came into exist on January 1st, 1995. Its headquarters was at Geneva. According to the calculation of 2015, they tell that including India, 161 member countries are there in this World Trade Organization. How many countries are there, children? One of the founder nations of that World Trade Organization was none other than India. Including India, there are 161 countries are there in this World Trade Organization. Now we are going to study the main guidelines. The World Trade Organization's had their own main guidelines and all. Now we are going to study about the main guidelines of this World Trade Organizations. Which are the most important one? First one, they are telling you that they had one aim. Phase by phase reduction of import duty. Phase by phase reduction of import duty. And also next plan, reduction of their subsidy. They used to give subsidies to some developing countries and all. But their plan was none other than reduction of these subsidies. Modification of a patent law. So third point, modification of a patent law. And also allow the foreign investment. They also encouraged to use the foreign investment even in the service sectors. Means including media, computer, banking, insurance, etc. I think it's clear now. They also compelled the domestic country used to give some grant to domestic investment. But they demanded the grants or the subsidy or the help, what all help the domestic countries provided to their own domestic investment. That such all things must be given even to that foreign investment too. All these were the most important guidelines of this World Trade Organization, which came into exist in 2000 and now 2015. Okay, how many countries were there? 161 countries were there. Next, we are going to study about multinational countries. What is about that multinational country, multinational companies? Okay, the multinational companies has one rule. They have to register their name in their own country. But they can work in any part of the world. Registration in their own country and they can work in any other part of this world. Their peculiarities are high technology and a huge capital. What is the peculiarity, children? High technology and huge capitals. I think it's clear now. And here we can understand that here the turnover of some multinational companies are more than the national income of some developing countries of the world. Means they were very, very rich there. Moreover, multinational companies made many in their own domestic countries. They made many changes in the rules and the laws of their country. They influenced to change the rules and the laws of the country only in favor of these multinational companies. Okay, children, now understood that high technology, huge capital, high influence. Is it clear now? And their turnover is more than that of the turnover of many developing countries' national income. Mainly they followed which policies there? Neo-liberalization. Neo-liberalization means what? Completely disregard the control of a government there. This policy is known as what? Neo-liberalization policy there. I think it is clear now. Again we know that then you may have a doubt about the practice of this government. I told you they used modern type of that technology, and also they heard what modern technology, and they had their own with what huge capitals and all. Now, how did these multinational companies work mainly their children? This company mostly start their production in merging with the production of some of the domestic countries. Is it clear? Or they acquiring the domestic companies there. Either they merge with the domestic countries or they acquiring the domestic countries. But you may have a doubt. Why did they do so? Because it made their marketization very easy. Is it clear? Means with the help of that domestic country itself, they utilize their own production system and distribution mechanism of the domestic companies. They use the production and distribution system of that domestic countries. Okay, it was very helpful for them for selling their products in different markets. In return, the domestic countries companies receive huge capital and high technology there. I think it's clear now. Is it clear now? They received huge capital without getting any benefit. Nobody will do it. Here also they did it to get a huge capital and high technology there. This is the one technique multinational companies followed. Another technique also they followed there. What is it there? Their technique is there. They hand over their production to different small scale entrepreneurs and asked them to produce their product. And they collected the product from this small scale entrepreneurs' hand, and they sold their products under their brand name, under the brand name of multinational companies. This is the another method they followed there. And the third method they followed, earlier we can understand that all the countries produced the products in their own countries. After that, they exported this product into different other parts of the world. But after the arrival of the multinational companies, they changed that method. Instead of exporting the goods, what did they start there? They started their production in different other countries where raw materials were cheaply available, labor force was cheaply available, and water supply, electricity, everything was cheaply available. So they started even the production in other parts of the world. Instead of exporting it from their own domestic land, they started the production in other parts of the world. Thereby they earned a huge profit. I think it's clear. Moreover, what happened there? Developing countries and all faced financial difficulty. They did not have enough investment. All these countries invited the multinational companies to come to their country and start their investment. Moreover, they made all their countries' rules, laws and all in favor to that multinational companies. I think it is clear now. Okay, so what happened? It was a favorable atmosphere for the growth of these multinational companies. So one method they followed there. What is the method they followed there? They demanded small scale entrepreneurs to produce their product and they sold this product under their brand name. Again they followed another method. What is the another method they followed there? Children, the different products were produced in different parts of the countries. And these all products, that one items, different parts are produced in different parts of the countries. And they bought these products from different parts of the country, but the multinational companies assemble it. Okay, for example, we can take the case of a vehicle. Different parts of that vehicles are produced in different parts of the country. But they bought it and they assemble it and they sold and they sell it in their brand name. Is it clear now? This is the another method they followed there. Now these were the different methods followed by the multinational company. Again we are going to study about their marketization. Children, we know that as a result of these new economic policies, market became very vast and strong and free. No restrictions there. Because completely absence of that government control there, which make their market very easy, free and very extensive there. I think it's clear now. Moreover, the role of the government is declining day by day. Moreover, we know that they made many infrastructure, banking, insurance and all. They brought under the scope of this market. They brought all these things under the scope of their market. Children, we know that their privatization, their liberalization, okay, and their globalization policies really made, it was very helpful for the removal of all control from the part of this government. I think it's clear now. And again they tell that what is meant by the marketization? It is a situation where everything is available. It is a situation where everything is available in the market or where things are available. That is nothing but a marketization. It is a situation where almost all the things are available or where the things are available, that is known as a marketization. Now we are going to study here that even this marketization is good. Okay, and it has its own enough merits and demerits here. Okay, children, we know that as a part of this marketization, marketing has become very free, marketing has become very extensive, and also we can see here that marketing has become very strong there. But at the same time, it has its own enough merits and demerits there. Which are the most important merits of this policy? Children, we know that as a result of this marketization, wide varieties of the products were available in the market. What is the first point? Wide varieties of the products were available. Second point, advanced technology was used for the production there. I think it's clear now. A wide variety of products, advanced technology, it leads to fall in the prices of the goods. It leads to fall in the prices of goods. Clear now. Fourth point, it increased the export. But also increased the export. And fifth point, it increased the employment opportunities. Again, next point, it increased the income of the people there. I think it's clear now. Yes or no, children? It mainly helpful for the increase the income of the people. And it also led for the entry of new companies here in this production. All these were the merits of this marketization. But at the same time, it has its own demerits. What are the most important demerits here? Economic disparity. I told you clear now. What is the most important demerit? Economic disparity. Moreover, over exploitation of resources. Clear now. Over exploitation of resources. And the third important point is that children, we know that the import of goods really leads to decrease the price of that domestic products. Increase of import leads to decrease the price of a domestic product because from foreign countries these products were cheaply available there. And the fourth point, completely neglected the control of a government. Day by day they reduced the control of a government. And the next point, job insecurity. job insecurity. I think it's clear now. Next point they tell here that future income loss of the government, because why? Completely neglected the role of the government, as a result future income loss of the government. All these are the most important demerits of this marketization. But now we have seen many points here. Before we wind up the class, we can see what all things today we have discussed in the class. Please look at the slide. Today we have discussed in the class globalization is the economic integration and interdependence of nations. All the controls on the global trade were removed after the establishment of World Trade Organization. The concept of neoliberalization led to the growth of marketization. Let me start the class. Now it is the time for us to write down the assignment. First question. Explain the main guidelines of the trade agreements formed through the World Trade Organization. Second question. Explain the arguments for and against new economic policies. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.